Okay, so we've got a couple of workflow templates in here for you for drip campaigns as well. So the first one, so we've got a single message template, which we've always had in here. So I'll just go through this quickly for the first one. Now in here in the builder, so what you want to do is just get your list and then add to workflow, okay? This is the best way to do it and the safest way to run a drip campaign, all right? It's just to add them into this workflow. This will ensure that they drip through correctly, okay? Because as soon as they come in, we've got a drip here. And then this is the maximum that we would recommend that you run this at, absolutely max. If you are starting a new SIM card, and this is the first drip campaign that you've run, don't do it at 1 a minute. Start this out at like 5 minutes. Let it run for a few hours, get some replies, make sure it seems like it's kind of normal before you start ratcheting this up. So don't start this at 1 a minute if it's a new number, okay? Just ease it in just a little bit, okay? Now, the way we've set this up, so you obviously modify this to suit yourself, but you assign it to a user if you want to. We put a note on ours so that we put a note against the person. Obviously, if you want to add a tag or anything like that as well, you can. We tend to split ours up into 2 parts when we send out a drip campaign to make it conversational. So we'll have the first message. And again, this isn't a lesson in copywriting, but hey, content name, it's user here from location. Just wanted to let you know something pretty exciting. And then we have a wait, so like a little pause of 3 seconds. So we just wait on that. And then we'll send out the second one. It says, we're having an epic, add offer, whatever you want to do with a custom value, or just write it in there. Would you like me to put one aside for you so you don't miss out? Okay, so this seems more like it's a genuine text that's gone out, because you sent out the first part, it's waited a few seconds, and then you send out the second part. That is way more realistic than sending out everything in one big block, chunky text, because it seems like someone's actually sent you a message, because it's come in 2 parts, and because we have unlimited SMS and we don't care about the cost, we can send out as many of these as we want. Doesn't matter. Again, you can change this however you want. We have a 48-hour wait that we've just put in here. And again, we're going to put this to drip mode. We want to put this here because we just want to catch it again, just in case anything goes wrong with your wait step or anything there. Just pop a drip here. Make sure you catch that. It will slowly drip them through the next stage. And then we've just got a reminder here. Say, hey, contact name, it's a user here from the location again. Just want to keep this on your radar as we all get busy. Again, we wait that few seconds and then we send out the reminder part again. So again, it seems more like it's realistic that someone's actually SMSing them. Now, we've got a couple of things in the settings here to be aware of. If you go in here to the settings, so we put a stop on response here. If someone replies with any message at all after they've been added in here, we obviously don't want to put them into the wait and start sending them follow-ups. All right, you should obviously have a bot or some way, an automation of managing this. We're not going to go through that in here, but we just have a stop on response to make sure that if they're in the wait mode here, if they reply, whatever it might be, we want to make sure that we take them out and don't give them some standard generic follow-up. Okay, so we'll put that one there. And then we run this on the contact time zone. All right, and then we put a specific time in here to run between, and you can change this again to whatever you want, but between, say, 9:15 to 5:30, something that's in reasonable hours. You don't want to be bothering people in all kinds of crazy hours. And if you run it this way, then it will make sure that it gets delivered in their time zone. So if you're doing something nationally or internationally, this will ensure that you're not sending text messages to someone in Australia at 5 p.m. and in the UK at 2 a.m. or whatever it might be if you're doing something like that as an international offer. Or even if you're within your country across the US, Australia, we have big countries, multiple time zones. Do it within the contact's time zone, and that way you'll keep, you won't be bothering people outside of their hours. All right. So those are the 2 things that you might want to change in there. Now I'll go back to the workflows here. So if you're doing bigger numbers, then we have seen people have got their accounts flagged. Sometimes they've sent them too fast or whatever it might be as well, but it's unusual activity. So we've got another split test multi-message in here that we would recommend that you use with your clients, and this is going to get you better results in terms of more natural usage of your SIM card. Okay, so if we go in here, Now I'll just pop to the settings quickly. We have exactly the same things in here about the stop on response, the contact time zone, so you'll need to go in and change those. But if I go to the builder, we've got a drip mode at the start, again, maximum 1 minute. If you're just starting this out fresh, start it slower, 5 minutes, bring it down, okay? Assign to the user, you can update this, add a tag, whatever you want, and a note. And then at this point here, we're going to split. Okay, so we're going to split this into 4. You can adjust this if you want. 1, 2, 3, sorry, not 1, but 2, 3, 4, 5. You could add more if you want to. And the reason for that is that as we drip this in, so every minute, one person is going to drip in and they're going to come through here. And the first person is going to go down here, and then we have another drip mode. So here we're dripping at 0.8 of a minute. And we've even randomized this a little bit more, so it's not exactly the same. It's 0.82 of a minute. Okay, so what that means is the first person, they'll drip through after a minute, and then 0.8 of a minute later, that person will go through and hit the first message, and I'll get to the messages in a second. All right, now a minute later, another person will drip through, they'll hit this one, and then 0.6 of a minute later, they'll drip through to a message. Then another minute, 0.4, they'll drip to this one, and then 0.4 of a minute, they'll go through there, and then another one a minute later, 0.2. And by the time this one's hit, we're going to start dripping another one back over here, and then this will start completely randomizing, because you can see these times are all different. So it will start to completely randomize at some point where it will drip one in here, another one will have dropped over here a few seconds later, and slowly but surely these will all end up sort of overtaking each other and going through at different times. And then what we have here is a message, and it's basically the same message, okay, as we had in that first single drip that we had here. And we'll wait 3 seconds, and then we'll have the same follow-up, and then wait 40 hours, and then we'll drip, and we'll do 0.8 of a minute here, and then we'll drip out the next one, and then we'll wait 3 seconds, and then we'll drip out the next one. So we'll randomize it as we go through here. And then on the second path here, so you can see how we've got message 1 here, and then message 2 is the same, but as I flick this over, you'll notice it's slightly different. Okay, it's pretty much the same message, but we've just changed it a bit. And then message 3, we've changed it a bit again. Message 4, we've changed it a bit again. And as you go through these messages, they're all the same, but slightly different. So when you write your message sequences, this is very easy to do. You can just take this, go to ChatGPT and say, hey, give me 4 variants of this message. And then, boom, you drop them in. Okay, and we've even done this. We've changed the emoji, different emoji on each one. Same for this one here. It's the same message, but we've just changed it a little bit each time as we go through. And the same for the last one. Okay, so changing up the messages. So now what we've got is randomized times with message variants going out. It's going to look much more natural through your SIM card to use this multi-split test than it is to use a single line one. So we would certainly recommend that you look at using this if you are doing drip campaigns on any kind of level, really. It's certainly going to give you a more natural result, keep your SIM cards safer, cause less issues, and you know, you can even run this as a test, and you can find out as well, you can see which ones are actually working better. So you can run this for a while. You can see, all right, well, this message was actually getting the best responses. Keep running that. Change some of the other ones in line with that, you know, and you can actually work this to then get better results for your campaign, for your client, if you're doing a split test. Obviously, you know, you can just keep it running and let it randomize. But if you want to get in and tweak it and get better results, now you've got the opportunity to do that as well. So hopefully that helps you guys, keeps your SIM cards running safe, nice and naturally. Please do remember drip mode, just drop them into the workflow here. 1 minute, absolutely maximum. Start them out a little bit slower and make sure that you keep those SIM cards, you know, nice and safe and running naturally.